my oldest son last year, or a couple of years ago now, maybe, he asked me to sign a card for him because he wanted to trade it at school for a Pokemon card. So I knew I was at an all-time low if I was getting traded for a Pokemon.
Like straight up?
Oh, that's great.
Straight
One
up.
for one?
That's what he tried saying. He's like, Dad, it's a really good Pokemon card. I was like, well, you do you, buddy.
We are back. It is a little podcast we like to call Absolute Non-Sens. Ian Mendes and Jackson Starr.
Yes, sir.
With you again. And Jackson, it's a trip down memory lane this week.
Yep.
Because on the pod, we switched it up. Last podcast, we went away from a current player. We went to the head coach, Travis Green. This time, we're going to go away from anyone on the current roster, coach or player. A little memory lane with Kyle Turris.
Kyle Turris. It was a great conversation, right? A lot of injury talk. It's interesting dynamic bringing an alumni on the pod. We've done a couple now, and it's been really interesting conversations, just delving into storylines that maybe you didn't get when he was with the team, right? Really interesting stuff.
Yeah, a lot of fun. It's a fun conversation coming up with Kyle Turris. Before we get to that, we are going to read some emails.
Once again.
Because that's what we do. And what's that email address again?
Communications@ottawasenators.com.
Okay, communications@ottawasenators.com.
Yep.
Send us your thoughts on the podcast, ideas for guests that you want to see drop by, anything like that. So as you know, if you've been watching the podcast, listening to the podcast, the good folks at Dalla Decor have supplied us with the furniture in here and this table that is going to be given away at the end of the year. Every guest that's come through has signed it, right?
They have, yeah, for sure. Really interesting conversations, right, on signatures. I mean, if you guys have been listening and watching, it's been really interesting stuff, and table's going to be a valued possession, I think, at the end of the year, right?
Have we determined, as we're about halfway through the year, are we signing this or not? Do we devalue it, or do we add value?
So I'm still of the mind that I don't think we can. I think it devalues it if we both sign it.
I think what we do is we sign my first name and your last name, or your first name and my last name.
Okay, interesting.
You know what I mean?
Jackson Mendes or Ian
Starr. Ian Starr.
You just want that ring to your name, don't you?
If I could change my, some people think that your name, I think we talked about this in the first pod.
Yeah.
Your name sounds like a made up name to be on TV.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You know what I mean? I would go with like Ian Steele.
Ian Steele. Wow.
What about? But not like steel, like theft, robbery, like steel, like aluminum.
Like, would you do anything with like Ian? Like, it's like a word play, like what would be a good one? Like if I renamed my first name Shining or something like Shining Star. Like you wouldn't be like
Falling
Ian
Star maybe?
Falling Star. Oh, jeez. I don't know what we could do for you. Ian something.
No, so Dean Brown calls me Trey. As a short for, because people used to say, oh, tremendous.
Yeah.
But somehow he took Tra and turned it into Trey.
Trey Mendes.
Trey Mendes. Tremendous.
For Sens 360, I'm Trey Mendes.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
It wouldn't ring. No.
But for Sens 360, I'm Ian Steele.
There you go.
Like people would be like, man, this guy's got something to say.
Oh, for sure.
Ian
Yeah.
Steele.
Assertive, for sure.
Yeah. You know who I don't like in the broadcasting world, by the way, who has my name and mispronounces it? Longtime football broadcaster, Ian Eagle.
Oh, there
Which,
you go.
by the way, that sounds like a made up name too.
It does. Ian Eagle.
Ian Eagle.
But would it be weird if it was Ian Eagle?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's why he changed it up. I don't know.
I could have gone with Ian Pigeon. would be me. Okay, let's open up those emails. And so speaking of the Dalla Decor table, we have an email that came in. Guys, love the show. You guys have some great chemistry. Keep this going. I've been a huge Sens fan since 1996. A season ticket holder. Would love to get my hands on that table. As a table maker myself, if I win the table, or even if I don't, I'd like to replace it with one for you next year, free of charge. I make beautiful river and epoxy tables. I would give you free range on the design. I made one last year for my basement in my Sens den.
Wow, that sounds great.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Jackson Starr gets to design his own table. What's on the table?
Okay, well, if we're keeping it Sens specific, it's got to be some like Sens history, like through the time period. I'd make it like a time capsule a little bit, like going through the years. You know what I mean?
A time capsule.
Well, like on the table, like it captures moments in
So
Sens
you're
history.
asking this guy to what? Like is he carving out? Like
I
he's
guess
carving
so.
out Kasper
Well,
Zogovan's doing a shootout?
He mentioned those like water river tables.
Yeah, the river tables.
I've seen those online where it's like, they make it and they pour the things in and they have, it's like the Star Wars ones where you see the ships flying through the tables.
Yeah.
Like something like that with like Sens stuff all placed around would be pretty cool. I
So
feel.
what moments from history are you putting in there though?
You got to put pucks from goals. I don't know. Do we even have stuff like that? Or just, I don't know, cool logo stuff? I don't know.
Good, you know what? That's actually, you raise a good question.
Yep.
Because usually if a guy scores a milestone goal, he takes the puck.
Yep. That's true.
Do we even own any significant pucks?
Don't know if we do.
Don't think so.
You'd have to dig through the grave here at Canadian Tire Center, the graveyard, I guess, of different things that have come and gone in the past. It's interesting, but that's great. I love the idea of designing a table of some sort. I'm not a great designer though, so I don't think I could. It should be me who comes up with the design.
No.
It's blunt.
I'd be a little. No, I think I'd be in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
We are creative in a different way.
We are.
We're
Indeed.
not handy.
No.
And like.
No.
Creating stuff like that. Also, would you go circular table, or what if it like a rink shaped table? Like the table looks like a rink.
There you go. That's your design. Your design influences coming up to.
I'm trademarking that
Exactly. No, I think that'd be great for sure.
Okay.
Love it.
A couple of weeks ago, we had Drake Batherson on, and we still are getting emails into the pod about other senators. But we ended up giving away the signed card to Rob.
Yep.
So Rob won it because a couple of weeks ago, remember you did the little shtick of.
Yep.
We asked you to play the
Back
role
and
of Dominic
forth, Hasek, yeah.
You were a little weak in that role,
I was.
But that's neither here nor there. But other people have written in. Gilles has written in. Not sure why. First one guy I thought about when you talked about dual sport athlete, Anton Volchenkov playing roller derby.
Wow.
Is
Where's
roller
that
derby
from?
still a thing?
Not that I know of. Maybe
don't know.
It must be.
I don't know.
But
anyway,
somewhere.
Gilles says, great podcast. Love all those off the ice questions, the get to know you stuff, but the favorite Senators players. That's from Gilles.
Thank you, Gilles.
We got this one here from Fred.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know why I'm laughing at Fred. It's a completely normal name. I don't know why I thought that was funny. Hey, Ian and Jackson, love the show so far. Jake Sanderson would make a great short track speed skater. He's so silky smooth out there, and he's willing to put the work in to be the best. I'm sure he could be headed to the games in Italy, competing for a different ice-related discipline. Go Sens, go. That's from Fred.
Nice. Thanks, Fred.
Short track speed skater.
I agree. Honestly, he's got those strides. Like I could see him doing that. Do you agree?
I don't know, but those are those different style of skates.
That's true.
right.
Yep. That's true. Those long blades, that's tough.
That's the
it's
part
really
that I
challenging.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You see them on the canal sometimes when you're out there and you see these guys just
Did you see
going
people
for the
actually,
long. I've
really?
seen them before. Yeah,
I've only seen it one time. One time I think I've seen the
long skates.
the long
Yeah.
skates on the canal.
Yeah, long blades.
But can you
Really.
Can you get a beaver tail? Like if you're actually doing like training or you get the long blades, I don't think you should be having a beaver
I don't think
tail.
so. That'd be a sight. You see a guy just skating through with a
Skating
beaver
in?
tail in his hand. I haven't. I don't think you can.
Have you ever had? Okay, and I know you've been in Ottawa long enough. You've had a beaver tail on the canal.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Have you ever had a hot chocolate on the canal? The hot chocolate will
I have,
stay hot
actually.
for about 40 seconds.
It will,
And
but
then-
it tastes good though.
Yeah,
Like it's
but
actually those first like 30
Three
seconds.
three
first,
sips?
yeah, exactly.
Ideal.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. I've had one before for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
JJ writes into the show, guys. Love that podcast you did with the Drake Batherson. I was surprised and pleased. Don't take this negatively. It's actually a positive point that you didn't talk about his uncle Dennis Vial being an ex-senator. Probably since your podcasts are non-Sens related, is that the explanation why you didn't bring that up? Looking forward to the next podcast. Ian and Jackson fan, JJ.
Love it.
So is that why we didn't bring it up? Or
I guess not.
did we just not have it on the list of things to talk
Maybe
about?
we didn't. We can swing whichever way we want, right? But no, it's interesting. Like we do so much research diving into so much history of these guys that
Yeah.
it's like it's interesting that you miss out on little things like that. But yeah, it worked out well. It was a great conversation.
Okay, we have an upcoming podcast that will drop in a few weeks, I'm sure. And Attila is actually looking forward to this. Guys, love the content, love the studio. Getting the players out of their comfort zone is excellent. I cannot wait for the Cousins interview. Thank you. That comes from Attila. And I'm assuming...
Which Cousins?
Which Cousins are you speaking
Yeah,
of? Because we've
exactly.
done both of them.
We have. Yep.
And they're good, fun conversations.
Great conversations
and
with both.
With
Yep.
Nick Cousins, we get into Nick Cousins. Cousins? Just Cousins. Nick Cousins.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to say Cousins. No,
Cousins
it's not
is-
right.
no.
Nick Cousins' fascination with Jackson Starr. It is a truly remarkable relationship to watch from an arm's length.
It is, and you're around it more than most, so you see it. You see it more than, again, most people do.
Okay.
It comes out.
In the month of December here,
Yeah.
Jackson,
Yeah.
we're going to get another game where the Ottawa Senators play a road game, this one in Toronto, December 27th.
Yep.
White jersey, black helmet.
Yep.
A couple of emails have come in.
Okay, on
to
that note.
communications@senators.com. This one is, sorry, I just gave the wrong email address, didn't I?
Did you? What did you say? I
it's
can't even
communications
remember.
at
You said-
ottawasenators.com. I think I just said senators.
Okay, there you
Caught
go.
myself.
Remember the Ottawa.
Communications at ottawasenators.com. Michael writes in. Michael Van.
I'm not even going to try.
You're going to try it.
I'm
You're going to try this
sorry,
live.
Michael.
Michael Van.
Mushenbrook,
There we go.
I think. Sorry, Michael.
Mushenbrook. Okay? We tried.
Yeah.
Guys, I like the black combo for the Montreal game. Do you think we've ever considered wearing red helmets? I'm just curious. Go Sens go. That's from Michael.
Red helmets.
So now red helmet, red jersey, I'm
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. I've heard gold a good amount, like
Yeah.
gold being thrown out with the red jerseys. I think that'd be interesting, like the Golden Knights, but red would be interesting as well. I liked the black and white combo. I think it looked good. out
Okay,
there.
so real quick on that
Yeah.
on that note, Devin writes in, the idea that's crossed my mind with the new third jersey, gold helmets.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, Vegas did it first. What if we had a matte finish to it? Okay, that's from Devin.
Yeah.
But then Jason writes in, all caps, no gold helmets.
Wow. A little bit of a mixed bag, I think,
So
there.
what do we think? Okay,
Look.
so no, I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, okay.
Your choice is
Easy.
gold helmet with red jersey,
Yep.
red helmet with red jersey.
I think I'm going gold.
I think so too.
I think gold
But-
would be
but
unique,
then it has
cool.
to be gold gloves.
I'd imagine so. I'd be curious to see what it would look like with and without. Like if you can do like an NHL video game type of thing where you're making a uniform, if you can play around with both. But I think gold helmets would be really they
I
pop,
think,
right? They
yeah, I
pop
think
really
so.
cool.
But do you
Yeah.
think it's overdone? Like the Kings kind of had the matte helmet. Vegas has done it. Like, are we just?
Yes, but I think that it would gain traction and people would really like it. I think so. Like I think red on red with the socks as well. Maybe a bit too much red overload. Not that I'm against red, obviously, but
Yeah.
I think the gold would look. It would be a cool contrast to it.
Too much igniting.
Exactly.
Igniting the red.
Exactly.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll leave that there. Again, communications at ottawasenators.com. Don't forget the Ottawa, like Jackson said. Communications at ottawasenators.com. Hit us up with all your podcast feedback. We absolutely love it. And without further ado, here's our conversation with Kyle Turris.
The Absolute Non-Sens podcast is furnished by Dalla Decor, the official luxury furniture partner of the Ottawa Senators. Ian and I sit on these super comfortable chairs every episode, and we thank our lucky stars, wink wink, that we have such a great partner in Dalla Decor.
All right, Jackson. You know what? We getting active players and coaches on the pod. That's fun.
Yep.
You know what's even more fun? Alumni.
Absolutely.
Alumni.
Oh, we love it.
Right?
We love it. Oh, for
and
sure.
we're super excited to have Kyle Turris in the studio today. But I'll tell you, I should have just read out the text. I told him I was going to lead the pod with this. So when we were lining this up, I said, Kyle, we want Kyle Turris on the podcast. And he texts me back and he says, actually, why don't you tell our viewers, our listeners, Kyle, what you wrote back to me when I said, hey, we'd love to have you on Absolute Non-Sens.
Yeah, just I said, are you sure you want to have me on? Because my wife says that I put people to sleep. So I'm not the most lively interview if you're trying to draw attention.
Okay. But you know what, though? I was thinking about this. And it's true. You have a very, would you agree, Jackson, calming voice?
You do, for sure.
Have you ever thought about in your post-playing career, like, you know what the Calm app is?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever thought about, like, maybe being a reader for the Calm app? And, like, maybe, like, Kyle Turris reads bedtime stories? Because I think maybe that'd put me out cold.
Yeah, it may work. My wife might try and sign me up for that. Yeah.
That's great. Well, it's great to have you here, man. We really appreciate you stopping by and spending some time with us. And, you know, we've kind of spoken to some of the guests before about how Absolute Non-Sens, it's not necessarily hockey related. We'll see if we delve into it a little bit here, but I guess we'll start it off. A non-hockey related question. Someone brought up to me that when you were on the road with the team, you'd always go for cheesecakes.
Yeah.
I'm curious where that started. Where did your love for cheesecakes come from, I guess?
Just growing up, my mom made cheesecake often, and it was I always had trouble putting on weight. So when I was really young, my strength and conditioning coach said I should eat more cheesecake to put on weight. So my mom would make it often, and then just throughout the years, I acquired a real taste for it. And then, yes, on the road trips, I'd always try and find a good cheesecake spot for dessert. So.
Where are some of the best cheesecake spots? I don't know if you were going there, Ian, but
there's you know what? There's a real good one in Montreal, actually. I think it was a steakhouse called was it the Cour de Cheval?
Okay.
Cheesecake that was larger than most, circular, it was chocolate dipped, kind of like the DQ cones. Real creamy inside, very good.
You realize that people watching or listening to this are going to be full of rage when they hear about a guy that I can't really put on weight. Yeah. I got to eat cheesecake. Like, but was that like your whole, like, even now, like, honestly, and you've walked around the building with me. A lot of people are like, wow, you look like you could still play. Like, have you just always been just great metabolism?
Yeah, like, I've always had a high metabolism, and I remember working with Schwartzy here with the Sens and in our off season, trying to find ways to put on weight. And it's something that I've always had. I'd start the season at 188, 189, and I'd finish the year at 178, 179. And I was, some people say I'm fortunate that I can eat whatever you want and not put on the weight, whereas other guys went the other way with it. But I'd love to be able to maintain weight and strength throughout the season because it would have helped me.
That's crazy.
I remember like back in the day on the charter, they used to actually have the dessert cart. Yeah. And I remember Jason Spezza telling me in his early days, he was banned from the dessert cart because he had some people just have the opposite problem, right? Where you do that. But like,
no, Milan McCulloch.
Same thing?
Same thing. It was, we'd go the opposite direction. So he'd start light and end heavy, and I'd start heavy and end light. And it was comical. We'd eat the same things.
That's crazy to me that you lost almost like 10 pounds during the season. And like, how does that work? Like during the off season, you're just like, hey, I need to gain those 10 pounds back. Like,
yeah,
no, you do. And I mean, there'd be games where I'd lose 6 or 7 pounds in water weight and sweat and spend the whole night and next day trying to regain the weight. And that's where back-to-backs where, it would affect you if you couldn't rehydrate well enough. So.
Crazy. So I was saying, like, it looks like you could still play, right? It does. And there's guys from your draft here that are still like Patrick Kane and some other guys are still there. So it's not out of the realm. But I think a lot of people would love to know, like, what are you doing these days? Like, what keeps Kyle Turris busy in 2025?
Yeah, no, the kids are, crazy active with both boys are playing hockey. Cooper and Beckett are both in hockey. Teddy is very into cheerleading, very competitive that way. And I'm working at the North Shore Winter Club. So I'm the general manager of the club there and really enjoying that and thankful for the opportunity they gave me to do that. And Julie's, taking care of us. And then she has ideas for all these business plans, and which is exciting to see her grow into that. And right when I retired, I went back and finished university and got my degree and done a few things since then. But ultimately, I'm just having fun hanging with the fam and working at the North Shore Winter Club.
Nice, that's awesome. And I guess kind of on that note, how is it for you to just kind of see maybe your kids get involved in hockey and kind of being part of their upbringing in the sport?
Yeah, it's fun. It's I really enjoy it. And yeah, it's just fun seeing them enjoy the sport and the camaraderie in the dressing room. And two very different kids, Beckett and Cooper. Beckett is, very thought first, act after, and Cooper is very act first, think later. And but they both really enjoy hockey, and they work hard at it and have a lot of fun. So I enjoy helping out where I can.
North Shore Winter Club, for the people who don't know, that's in North Van,
Yep.
right? And now, was that like when you were growing up? You were a New West kid, though.
I was.
So,
yeah.
but you would have played at North Shore.
I
Like,
did,
so,
yeah.
so what? Like, what's it like? Do you have an office there? Like a
Yeah,
day to day?
so-
Like you have a computer,
Yeah,
a printer?
yeah. It is strange getting into more of an office job setup, but So when I was 10 years old, actually, well, from 5 years old to 10 years old, I played hockey in Westminster, and my dad was my coach. And then at 10 years old, my parents moved me to the North Shore Winter Club to have more competitive hockey and develop better there and go on open ice. And so I played there from 10 to 14. Great experience. I played with many players. Patrick Weirkosh, Martin Jones, Jason Bowman, Ben Maxwell, all guys that played in the NHL, and we were playing together from 10 to 14. And then, fast forward now, I'm back at the North Shore Winter Club. I was the hockey director for a year, and then I took on the general manager role, and Ben Maxwell is now the hockey director. So we played together when we were 10 years old, and now we're back working together there now.
Okay, I got to ask this question because I can't imagine you sitting at a desk. Like, are you doing expenses and stuff? And do you have like Microsoft Word? Like, what programs are
He's
you
the
running?
GM,
here?
of course. He's doing all
I'm
this, right?
curious.
It's crazy.
I am. I really enjoy numbers.
Yeah.
So all through, elementary school and high school and university, I enjoyed math and numbers, finance and whatnot. I'm very fortunate to have a strong team. My controller, guy Russ Ritchie, is phenomenal. And just a good experienced team in place to support me as I learn and develop in the role and get more comfortable behind the desk.
Nice. I want to go back because you mentioned Patrick Weirkoch and Ben Maxwell's back with you.
Yeah.
You played here with Weirkoch. Just maybe, what was that like coming to Ottawa and you have a guy who you grew up with being a familiar face in the organization?
Yeah, it was really neat. And that was, there's a million things that made my time in Ottawa very special, but being able to play with Patty was one of those. To this day, I talk to him every day. He's one of my best friends, and getting to spend, I forget if it was 3 or 4 years playing here together, it was really neat. Playing crib after the games on the plane, and just kind of going through life together. It was really neat.
You were talking about playing crib on the plane. I remember you telling me about a little table tennis when you were here, and that Daniel Alfredson was a master. Yeah. And I don't know that people like quite can understand. Can you try and explain the level of like wizardry that this guy has with table tennis?
So when I first came to the Sens, the first like 2 or 3 years, we were serious into ping pong, and I'm sure you saw it. We had a table set up. We'd even have some on the road set up, and we had team rankings, and they were legitimate rankings. You could challenge guys for their position on the ranking board, and if you beat them, you took it. And so it got very intense, and the first place on the ranking board was Daniel Alfredson with his right hand, and second place on the ranking board was Daniel Alfredson with his left hand. And we had like Carl was unbelievable at ping pong. Spez was good. Some guys said they were pretty good, but weren't as good as maybe they said. And but yes, Alf was that good. With both hands, he would beat you. I mean, if you got a point or two, if I got a point or two, I was happy.
That's crazy.
Where were you in the rankings?
I was. It depends on who you ask, but I would like to think I was kind of top 5. I was kind of 4 or 5. as long as I beat Neeler, I was happy.
I was gonna say, do you have like, are there any like matches or games that you remember that just stand out where it's like back and forth, close right to the end against anyone?
No, not really. One thing I remember was Alf. One time we had an optional morning skate, and it just speaks to how good Alf was. But I was young, no kids. Alf was a veteran player. He's Daniel Alfredson, been here forever, and he had a young family with his boys and BB, and it was an optional skate. And so I took the option, and he had taken the option, and there's a million things he could have done. He could have gone home and spent more time with his family. He could have been working out or stretching or gotten work done with the training staff. And this is how intense into ping pong we were. He brought me out into the hallway right out here, and we had the ping pong table set up. And during the pregame skate where we had taken the option, he fed me hundreds of balls over a 30-minute span, teaching me how to consistently hit a forehand on the ping pong table. And it just this was in the first year that I was here, welcoming me to the team and making me feel part of it, but just showing, how to lead and how to be that mentor. And it was just, I can't say enough good things about him, but that kind of gives you an example of how he was.
Wow. So
Crazy.
you're sitting there, it's an optional skate.
Yeah.
And you're getting this one-on-one table tennis lesson.
Yeah. How to get better at ping pong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said, though, that's not really about the table tennis to ping pong. It's about leadership, right?
Yeah.
So what was that takeaway from you or for you when the captain of the team, like this guy, again, Hall of Famer, he doesn't have to do that on a Saturday morning with you, right?
No, it's just there's so many things to take away from it, right? Like the importance of individual connectivity as a leader with one of the players, and connecting, and then a part of that is the work ethic that you want to put in to get better. I mean, this is ping pong. Like at the end of the day, nobody cared about the ping pong, but I wanted to get better, and he saw me, wanting to challenge guys and get better, but I was losing, and so he's like, "Hey, like, why don't we go out and I'll show you a few things and more consistency in your overhand." And there's so many things to take away from it that looking back, it's just I was so fortunate to not just to learn from him and play with him, but to be on the same line for a couple of years was one of the highlights of my career.
Nice. You scored, trying to change the pace here, but 3 overtime goals in this building that are obviously renowned in Sens history. Just maybe take us through that first of all, but also I heard a story that after one of the overtime goal games, you went to a banquet, I believe, with the Capital City Condors right after. And I think you talk a little bit about leadership and kind of showing the tracks off the ice to other guys. Just maybe walk us through the emotion of those goals if you can, and then also just the impact in the community with the Condors as well.
Yeah, the emotion from those goals are it's a feeling that you can't even properly describe. It's felt like you could lift a car. So much adrenaline rushing through, and the excitement, and all 3 were at home here, so 19,000 fans jumping up and down, screaming, and the horn going. It was just memories I'll never forget. And then being able to enjoy. The funny thing was, either way, win or loss, we were going to the Condors banquet. It was we were really excited to go, and it just so happened to be on the same night as the game, and so we were excited to go to that afterward. And it just so happened that I ended up scoring the overtime winner, and so it was almost like being able to celebrate a second time with the Condors it was so neat, and couldn't have worked out better. And I remember walking in. Beckett was young. He was our only one at the time, and Julie and I walked in with him, and all the Condors come running over, and there's probably 100 Condors bear hugging us, and everybody's celebrating. It was just added to the amazing night that it already was.
Now, if I had 3 overtime goals on my resume, I'd be watching those highlights weekly, daily. I don't know. When's the last time you watched those highlights? Like, be honest with us. Like, I wouldn't look down on you if you're like, yeah, I watch it every week?
No, I definitely don't watch it every week. You know, the odd time it'll come up once a year or whatnot, but no, I don't really. It's funny, the kids, and I saw this with Alf and his boys that you know, they had a favorite player on the team that wasn't Alf.
Yeah.
And so like you know, Beckett, for example, be driving home from a hockey game and ask him, hey, B, like, you know, what do you think of this? Do you want any help with it? And no, Dad, I'm fine. And like, B, like, I think I can help you. Like, he's like, Dad, you don't even play anymore. You don't know what you're doing. And so I just kind of back off and you know, we don't watch the highlights, or I try to offer help and let them know that it's there if they want it, but often they try to figure it out on their own.
I see. That's when your son's like, "Hey, you don't play anymore." That's when I would roll out the highlights. You see me lighting up Peter Budaj.
Yeah.
Like you have to admit, okay, of the 3 overtime goals, that one was the weirdest, right?
That was
like,
very weird.
How would you describe? Because if you watch the highlight, it's like a 2-second delay. Like it's almost like you didn't know that went in.
I didn't. To be honest with you, I didn't, because what happened was, if you watch the replay, it actually ricochets off the defenseman's elbow and in. And the thought process on that was Carey Price played the whole game. And then for whatever reason, he didn't come out for overtime into the crease. And we were on the bench. We were like, what's going on here? We weren't sure why. And so kind of the mentality was just, we're throwing everything at net because Budaj's cold and catch him off guard. And so that was going like 3 feet wide. It was a knuckler that I was trying to corral. I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to whip it towards the net and see what comes of it. And it kind of whipped up on the side and flat on my blade. And I just tried to throw it at net. And it ended up going off the defenseman's elbow and through Budaj's arm. And I didn't even know it went in at the time.
Crazy. And I guess the 2 other ones against the Rangers, I mean, those are just nice shot. I mean, I'll go back to 2012 first of all. I mean, the emotion in that building that night just seemed palpable, and then you guys get that goal in the end. Just, I mean, walk us through that one if you can.
Yeah, no, that was a really exciting one, and it felt like so many things coming together, because you know, Ottawa, I couldn't have been more thankful for them taking the risk on trading for me and giving me the opportunity to play and develop into the player that I was hoping to be. And to be able to score that, which it felt like a pretty big goal at the time, I think it was to even the series at 2, and just kind of feel like I did belong. And it, like, the team and the organization and everything went over and above making me feel that way. But just for myself to feel like, oh, I contributed in a way that, you know, shows that I do belong. It felt really good.
Yeah. So Jackson and I were talking about highlights that you had against New York. This is one against the Islanders. We're almost at the 10-year anniversary of this. Okay, December of 2015. I can see your mind. Where is this guy taking me? Casey Cizikas. You get tangled up with him. And I said, Jackson, you got to watch this. Yeah. And he watches, and he actually is like, oh my God, that's gross. How on earth? And for the people who haven't watched it, just search Kyle Turris, Casey Cizikas ankle, and you'll find it. Yeah. How'd you come back and play for 2 months on what clearly was like? I mean, I don't know how you only had a high ankle sprain, but that looked like a terrible injury. How on earth did you get through to play for 2 months on that leg?
Yeah, honestly, thanks for bringing this up, because I you know, it was probably so I had every injury you could name over the course of my career, and it was one of the worst. It was only a high ankle sprain. It was a very bad high ankle sprain that to this day bothers me. I don't know, because Jerry and Dom, the trainers, they thought my knee was blown out. They thought my leg could have been broken, and for whatever reason, I don't know how I got away with a high ankle sprain, but I almost wish my leg had broke, because the high ankle sprain was so bad. And so kind of the situation was we were in second or third in the division at the time, and we were in a good playoff spot, and And I was playing a lot and felt like I was contributing to the group and didn't want to miss a significant period of time. And so what they ended up doing is they ended up like basically every game taping my ankle into almost like a cast. And I would play and I kept catching my toe. And it was anybody who's had a high ankle sprain and you catch your toe, it's just, you just want to cry. And so it got to like I couldn't skate, I couldn't push off on that leg with any power, and I think I started that year with, I think I had like 23 points in 24 games or something, and I ended up having 5 points over the next 25 games or something, and I could barely skate, and got to a point where we were slowly slipping out of the playoffs, and we were in Calgary, and I remember we were in Calgary, and I was back checking, and I was kind of like hobbling on the back check, and I caught my toe already in the game. I could barely get up and down the ice, and I was back checking, and Andy punched out a shot as I was back checking, and it ended up hitting me right in the mouth, the puck, and my teeth were all broken off, and I was on the plane flying home after the game, and I had like ice, and it was just a nightmare. And I remember, I think it was Davey Cameron came over to me. He's like, "Tur, we're calling it. Like you can't go anymore." And so yeah, I ended up missing the rest of the season, and which I think ended up being about 20 games to finish the year. And it literally took 4 or 5 months to actually have my ankle back to feeling the way it should. And to this day, like I'll go for a run and my ankle will flare up and be swollen and stiff, and all because of that.
Crazy. Well, I mean, you mentioned you kind of had a few different injuries throughout your career. Anything like that where you're able to play through something that's that bad?
I had a separated shoulder at one point that I played with. There's major ones that, like I had a herniated disc when I was in Phoenix that I played majority of the season with, and had surgery right after the season. Dislocated shoulder that I did on the last game of the year one year, and spent the whole summer rehabbing. And broken fingers are normal. You played with all those, and I actually, one funny story. It wasn't funny at the time, but and you can cut me off if you don't need to hear these stories.
No,
but
we love it.
I had a broken ring finger, and so anytime you're holding the stick, your bottom hand, guys will kind of swing their stick to slash, and it always seems to catch your bottom fingers. So I'd always have like a broken pinky or a broken ring finger, and all the guys do. But anyways, this particular situation, I had a broken ring finger, and for a number of games, I was getting a nerve block. So before the game, I'd go out for warm-ups, I'd come off early, and in between warm-ups and the game, I'd have the doctor give me a injection into the base of my finger, and it would basically numb the entire finger. And we were on the road one time, and a doctor for the road team came over, and on the road, some of the time they don't have the same gauge needle, the thin needle that they have at home.
Yeah.
So it's uncomfortable because it's a bigger needle. And anyways, I get the needle on the road, and the doctor comes in, gives me the nerve block, and all of a sudden, it starts excruciating more than normal. And I look down, and the doctor actually put the needle through my finger and was spraying the freezing out the bottom onto the floor.
Oh my gosh.
And Jerry Townsend is pure white, and he actually had to lay down on the training table. He thought he was going to pass out.
Jeez.
But so the doctor pulled it out and apologized, and went back and numbed it. But just stuff like that.
And you played. You played after. That's great. Like I think that was what I was trying to get to. Was like, I don't think people understand like what you guys as athletes kind of go through, and it's like, yeah, patch that up, just pierce through the finger, let's get back out there on the ice.
Yeah.
Like, I think just like maybe can you talk to that and like the ability to just bounce back from that injury, fight through, and just like the emotion of the game, I guess. Kind of.
Yeah.
Part,
well,
right?
I mean, it's 82 games. It's so long. It's almost 84 now, almost, right? So it's such a long season, and no matter who you are or what you have going on, there's always, over the course of the season, you're always going to feel like crap at some point. You know, whether you're sick and you have the flu, or you have a broken finger, you know, you have a sprained MCL, or kind of whatever it is. There's, over the course of 82 games, there's always going to be something that's bothering you at some point. So you gotta, you know, enjoy the times where you feel good, and find a way to mentally get through the times where you feel bad, and then that's why playoffs are just the best, because playoffs come around, and everybody's so excited, and it brings you to another level, and you know, it's very easy to mentally get through any bumps and bruises at that point, because now everything is really meaningful. Whereas, you know, game 59 of 82, and you're, you know, getting nerve blocks for broken fingers, you still see 23, 24 games left, and it can be a mental grind as well.
For sure.
Now that you brought up the needle going through your finger story, I feel like it's fair game to ask you about, because I know you've told me about this, when your back went out on you in Nashville.
Yeah.
And I think you were in the training room. Right? Is that right? Like, could you refresh my memory on this one? Because I think what people will really appreciate is like a high performing athlete having that type of back pain. Because I think a lot of people just deal with back pain, right? Yeah. But I think your story, when you told me what happened to you in Nashville, it was just, you know, when it happens to an elite athlete like that, it just must be so frustrating. But like, I think you were like just basically incapacitated.
Yeah.
In the room.
And it's just like the littlest. So I had back surgery when I was 19, and spent the whole. And that's why I was very fortunate here with Chris Schwartz, and working with him and Robbie Mouland and the team here to you know, just to manage my back health for the rest of my career. And so the Nashville incident, and the Nashville training staff, and Goody as the strength coach there was phenomenal as well. And this, I mean, I was in the gym. I picked up, it was like 20-pound dumbbells, just to do like a light warm up. And when I went to pick them up, it was just my back just completely gave out. And I was right in front of Pecorini was on the bike. And I went to pick up the 20-pound dumbbells, and I got stuck. And I literally just kind of crumbled to the ground and laid there. And Pex came over and asked if I was okay. And he said he'd be back with the trainers to bring help. And anyways, yeah, it's like you said, it's debilitating. And it, you know, it takes your breath away, and you can't move, and your whole back spasms, and it stays like that for days. So I mean, tying your skates is extremely challenging, and yeah, it's just tough, and that's where, you know, my career, towards the end of my career, my back just became a consistent issue that it was tough to manage. So.
Interesting. I guess you mentioned you kind of deal with the ankle, a little bit with the back as well. Maybe how did you kind of get through that at the end of your career? If I could ask you.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of patient and willing trainers to help me out and spend a lot of time with me. So I was very lucky that way. And like I said, the strength and conditioning coaches that I worked with Schwartzy and Goody in Nashville, and Chad Drummond and his team in Edmonton were great. And in understanding my body and the program I needed, you know, never squatting with weight on my back, but doing more like hip squats with a belt and whatnot, and just training in a different way to maximize my back health.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned way back when in this pod that you went back to Wisconsin to finish your degree, you know, kind of as your career ended, and again, earlier than you'd wanted it to end, but you shifted your focus. You went back to Wisconsin. Now, was this during the pandemic? Like, you were able to do everything online?
Yeah.
Or how that was online?
Yeah.
And full course load? Like, you're taking a full course load?
Yeah. So I was very fortunate for Wisconsin. They honored my scholarship when I So it was my last year there. It was 07, 08 in Wisconsin, and then so I went back in 22, 23. And yeah, I reached out to them, and they said they would honor it. So I didn't pay for anything. And yeah, I went back full time. So I took the maximum course load allowed per semester, which was 18 credits. And I would drop the kids at school, and then I'd come home and go to school myself for until I picked them up. And Julie was patient and supportive in me doing that. And I really enjoy it. I love learning. So I enjoyed the opportunity to go back, and you have a different perspective learning at 34 than you do at 18, and not understanding why things would apply, as opposed to having lived it and having a bigger understanding of why it works like that. And so yeah, I went back full time and finished, and I got my degree and my business degree.
So I think we have one thing in common, despite being different in age. We both did online school. If you can maybe talk through some of what are the pros and cons of online school for you?
The flexibility, with a young family, and that was very helpful. Being able to do it from as much as I pitched to Julie that I needed to go on campus and do school there to experience everything again. She wasn't buying it, so that was very helpful. And yeah, that was, thankful. One good thing that came out of COVID was all the universities moving everything online so that I could do that.
Now, was your camera on? Like during these, like whether it's a class, is it your camera's on?
That was the thing, was I'd see, I'd be in a class with
a bunch of 19-year-olds.
Exactly, all 19, 20.
But did anyone recognize you? Be like, hey, that's Kyle. Kyle T or whatever comes up on
some people did. There's a kid on the hockey team there who was drafted, I believe, to Columbus actually. That reached out to me one time. We were in a class together, and that was funny. But no, I mean it was actually kind of neat because there's a handful of other students that were similar situation to mine, where they were older and going back to finish, and we kind of kept in touch the whole time doing it and helped each other out, and had a cool little support network that way.
Did you have the same student number? Did you?
I did.
And how does that work? Yeah. Like you just phone, or I guess you must have emailed them? Or how does that work? Like,
yeah, actually I called and I spoke with, I think I spoke with Granado at the time, and he put me in touch with academic advisor, and we kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it's a business degree.
Yes.
But there was a little bit of sports to it, right? For you? Or not really, not really a sports lens.
No, not a ton of sports lens to it. It was just kind of your standard, business degree, with a bit of an emphasis in management.
Do you have like a final paper, like a thesis or anything that you had to write?
No, I didn't have to do any final paper. No, I got away without having to write that.
Easy.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get you to sign the table.
Yeah.
How many these days? How many autographs do you sign? Do you sign autographs still? I'm sure that back in Ottawa, I suspect you'll sign a lot of autographs. But like, do you get randomly stopped?
Sometimes. Not. Being back at the club, it's all 440 minor hockey members that all play. So, yeah, sometimes they'll come in with cards that I'll sign, but not nearly as often anymore. My oldest son last year, or a couple of years ago now, maybe he asked me to sign a card for him because he wanted to trade it at school for a Pokemon card. So I knew I was at an all-time low if I was getting traded for a Pokemon.
Like straight up?
Oh, that's great.
Straight
one
up.
For one?
That's what he tried saying. He's like, Dad, it's a really good Pokemon card. I was like, well, you do you, buddy. So,
The trade was 1 for 1.
Crazy. One more before we go. Yeah. We got to ask you one more. You used to live in Westboro when you were living in Ottawa. So you'd come to the rink every day on the 417. We've been asking everyone, did you take Terry Fox to get to the rink, or Palladium? Go past the rink or get off at the first exit on the highway?
I took Palladium.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why? Because he's a normal guy. He's a normal, smart human.
I always take Terry
So many
Fox.
people take Terry Fox.
No. Why would you do that?
I don't know. I feel like if you get the we've spoken about this with a couple guys, but if you get the left turn, you're there really quick. I don't know.
I mean, there wasn't as much development out in Canada when I was here either. So
Yeah.
it was. True. I feel like it was a bit quicker going Palladium because there wasn't. I think that those are Tanger outlets, right? I think those came in like a year or two before I left, so it wasn't quite as busy when you take Palladium.
Okay, interesting. There we go.
There we go. One vote for Palladium.
There you go.
I love it. All right. Hey, thanks for dropping by the pod. We really appreciate this. And I know at the very beginning you said Julie was thinking about business ideas.
Yep.
Can you please add to the list Kyle Turris as a Calm app reader? Okay, just think about it, because I think people will listen to this and say, yeah, that guy's got this smooth, silky voice.
You definitely got some Sens fans who pop on there for sure.
Sounds good. We'll consider it.
All right. Well, thanks for dropping by.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Okay, Jackson, I got to say, after that conversation with Kyle Turris, I'm going to go back to where I started with him.
Yep.
This man should be reading Calm app.
Yes, I agree.
Bedtime stories, like anything. Like the next time I'm feeling stressed at work, which never happens, I'm just going to ask him to can you just phone me and just calm me down?
Yeah, exactly. Just have him on speed dial.
Soothing.
He is. It's a very soothing, calm voice. I love how you brought that up. I agree. And it was interesting that his wife was like, I don't know how great you're going to be on the pod. Because of his tone, I guess. But it was a great conversation, first of all. And I agree that he could be on a calm type of app.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't ask him about was, the number 7 has really been, as we got the Brady jersey here now. It's been taken from him. Like, Turris was the number 7.
For sure. Yeah.
Like,
I think, like, in situations like that, I'm trying to think of other examples, but, like, where a number has been so, like, important
identified the one guy?
Exactly. But even then, like, Turris and Tkachuk, like, those are two identifiable guys that will stand the test of time with the organization. I feel like that number can be for multiple players, if that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to think of another example.
Well, Ottawa's a great example, just number 19.
Yep,
You've got arguably the two best, arguably the two best centers that have ever played here to this point anyway, and Jason Spezza and Alexei Yashin.
For sure.
And now Drake Batherson.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So I think there are multiple examples. I'm trying to think, is it like, would you rather have your number retired versus out there being represented by someone? Like, type of thing? Like,
I want my number retired.
I agree.
Don't even talk about my number.
But I feel like a number like 7 can be like, okay, the next person who wears 7, if there is someone who's going to wear 7 ever, that's got to be someone who can live up to the Kyle Turris and Brady Tkachuk
it's
type
almost
of thing. You know what I mean?
Not to bring this back to my Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
But like if you wear number 88 for the Dallas Cowboys, you better be an all-world receiver.
For sure.
And that's the number, right? So for Ottawa, I feel like if you're going to wear number 19, you better be a highly skilled, silky smooth type of guy.
Winger, I guess.
Right?
Yes, forward. But yeah, I agree. I wonder if there's any other numbers that we can think of. If anyone has any ideas, pop them over to us.
Ben Coles has an idea for us on jersey numbers.
18.
Well,
Timmy.
Marian Hossa and Tim
Hossa, Timmy. Yep. It's interesting. It's like, how long does it go until that number is like, okay, we recognize that it's been worn by enough guys who are prominent in the organization to kind of let it be type of thing. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting conversation.
It's good.
Yeah.
I got a little squeamish in that conversation with Kyle Turris when he relayed the story of the needle going through his finger.
Yeah.
And then the freezing agent or whatever coming out the other side. Like straight up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a squeamish guy.
Same, genuinely. And that image was, wow, I don't even know. Where was that? Calgary, I think he said it was?
Oh, it was on the road.
It was on the road.
Didn't he say like Dom Nicoletta or Sherry Townend, like white as a ghost?
Yeah, like genuinely. Ugh. It's crazy that, again, going back to the injury talk, but like they played through that. Like he just taped it up and went out there and can continue to play. Like that's just crazy to me. Like how tough these guys, what these guys battle through. Like he's a good example, Kyle, of just battling through those moments and those injuries. Crazy stuff.
I hope, I know a lot of people who are watching this or listening to this there's lots of people. I think fear of needles is. I'm not afraid of needles, but I understand how people could be afraid of needles.
For sure.
That story doesn't help.
No,
like if you have a fear of needles and you hear that story, you're gonna be like, well, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. What's another example of a fear that could like would be more induced with a story like that? I don't know. I guess spiders. People are terrified of spiders.
Are you not a arachnophobia guy?
I'm not scared of spiders.
You're not scared
really.
of spiders.
No.
Do you have any fears?
I'm scared of heights. Not on planes, but like if I'm standing on like in Toronto, CN Tower edge, whatever the glass, I can't do it.
To do the edge walk?
No, I couldn't do it either.
Couldn't do it.
Like no, I'm 100%
I'm not even
agree.
sure I would do the catwalk
here
at Canadian Tire.
Really? Huh. I'd do it just because we did it in Calgary last year.
That's scary.
That is scary. Calgary's that press box is really feels like it's gonna fall any second, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I'd do the catwalk, but just like extreme heights. Like if you're up on a mountaintop and there's a cliff, like I'm terrified of stuff like that. Not my vibe.
No. So that was really remarkable to me that Kyle Turris played through that.
For sure. Yeah, it is.
It did that. And then the other thing I loved from him, the anecdote of they had the rankings of table tennis players.
Yep.
And number 1 was Daniel Alfredson right-handed, and number 2 is Daniel Alfredson left-handed.
It's crazy, right? I mean, it's not the first time that Alfie's come up as a ping pong athlete right on the pod, but crazy. Says a lot.
So many years ago, when I worked at the Ottawa Lynx baseball team, I was 21, 22 years old.
Yep.
And we used to go across the street. The ballpark is in the east end of the city, and it's right next to St. Laurent Shopping Center.
Yep.
And there was an arcade there, and we used to play air hockey. Okay. Play air hockey.
Yep.
But I would clean up. I would beat the whole staff every day. And one day I called a press conference back at the Lynx Stadium, and I said, "I'm calling this press conference to announce my retirement from the Air Hockey League."
Wow.
And everyone was, I said, with a caveat. My right hand is being retired. I will now exclusively play left hand. And I was okay. Like I held my own. I didn't win. I'm not like Alfie. I wasn't number 1.
Number 2. Yeah.
But that didn't make me very popular in the office.
No, I can imagine.
I was a cocky 21-year-old, kind of like you now. You're 23?
23.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
Not as cocky as I would not hold a press conference or anything like that.
No,
That's
I look back at it and I think I gathered everybody in an office room and announced that I had,
That's a power move.
It was a power move.
Yeah, crazy. I don't know. What were your tricks like for like having such dominance in air?
I feel like I don't know. Like I'm actually much better at bubble like air.
Yep.
Like tabletop hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
We did an event at TSN 1200. I think I beat everybody that came, listeners, and they nicknamed me Bubble Gretzky.
That's a new nickname. I'm going with
Bubble
that.
Gretzky.
Now. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Crazy.
Yeah. So I feel like I could hold my own because I can do a one. I've got it where you can do a one-timer. You gotta almost go like.
Yeah. Oh really? You gotta it's a quick thing.
Yeah.
But do you like in air hockey? Do you you play the bounces? Obviously, you got to ricochet it off. Oh yeah. You're not going straight through.
No. What you do is you lure your opponent with a series of sort of carom shots.
Yep.
And then you go.
And then you pounce
straight.
quick. Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's also key. Like for me, whenever I play, it's like you're playing defense. Like I'm always on just defending my net. I'm worried about they'll make a mistake. I can't. You're mess up my
the Guy Boucher of air hockey.
I'm focused on the defenses.
On your own zone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we got to play air hockey now. Now that we know that
tabletop.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't we get that guy?
He can
to
make us an air hockey
table out of wood, and
Crazy.
Then just poke the little holes through it. Why not?
I'm intrigued. I love it.
Nobody else is. But just us.
Exactly, just us.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
We love hearing from you. Again, the email is
communications@ottawasenators.com.
And this guy still doesn't have access to the account, but we'll get you there at some point. We'll
Perfect.
All right. That was a ton of fun. And again, we have some fun episodes coming up. Alumni kind of related stuff. We've talked about having Paul McLean in here.
Yep.
Nick Cousins. Anyway, a lot of fun doing this one. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.